And during the master's program was when I developed the whole idea, and like a lot of things changed while like studying. And then it was like, okay, I'm just gonna, like I'm just gonna go for it and like see what comes out of it. And there were, like what I feel like when things are meant to be, and like you are doing the things with your heart and like consciously, like everything starts to just open up. And at the beginning, yes, it was, like a little hard to make that decision of like, okay, I'm moving, and what am I gonna do? Like, I need to find like the community, the organization who's gonna help me. I can just go and show up. And then like the organization like showed up, and like they were like, yeah, you can do it, you can go. And it was like so fast. I remember like I got in contact with the community, with the president of the community, and the president was like, yeah, I'll let you know when we go in the community, and then like you can come with us. And then I remember it was like the day before, and then he sent me a WhatsApp, and he's like, "We're going tomorrow. You have to be in the city where they take the charter flights. It's called Shell, and it's like by Puyo City. So he was like, you have to be there by 6 to take the flight." And I was like, oh my God, I don't have like anything. Like I haven't packed, I haven't done, like I was like, how about food and stuff? And then he was like, don't worry, like we're gonna, like get the food, you just get there at 6. And then I remember that I went there, and then I went in the community, and it was just so, like everything just flow very, very naturally at that point.
What was
And
the name of
since
the,
then,
sorry.
mhm,
What was the
no,
name of the community that you,
to the Sapara. So it's the Sapara nationality, and the community that I went to was Janchama. And since then, like I've been working with people from the Sapara community. And now with like I have two of my best friends who are Sapara, and like we work on projects together, and they're like my sisters, and it's just been like a really great journey so far. And like getting to also like know this other part of myself in a way too, relating to nature. Like the Sakura are well known for their knowledge about dreams and the oniric, you know so it's been very interesting to have that connection, right? And it's something that also was part of my project when I started working with them. It's something that I wanted to learn from them. It was about dreams, and it was like this worlds that are invisible, that are not tangible, and we can see them, but we know and we feel it and we sense it. And it's like the sensorial experiences that we all have, right? Like a dream that we sometimes don't even pay attention, but for them, for the separate people, it's something very important, and it's something that guides their life. And it's like it's the path for them to know what the future holds for them, right? And also in a way is this connection with the spirits that they live in the forest, and how they connect with the land. And when they go, for example, to hunt or to fish, or if when the women go to the chakras, to the small gardens, to get the cassavas to make their chicha, this beverage they drink. So everything is interconnected, right? So I think trying to understand, these connections has been something very important for me. And also connecting with my own dreams, right? I remember when the first time I went there with the Sapra, and I wasn't dreaming, and they will ask me because they wake up in the morning to interpret their dreams. So they would ask me, what do you dream? And I'll be like, I don't remember. Like, I don't think I'll, like, I don't think I dreamed. And they will give me tobacco, because that's what they do. Like, they inhale tobacco to like help them neutralize the energy and just get into this, like groundedness. And also it cleanses the bad energies that maybe were attached while they were dreaming or while they were asleep. So, and they will make this tea that's made of the Wayusa leaf, which is a leaf that's called Wayusa. And then they will drink this tea too, and it's kind of like to clear in and like cleanse your body as well. So they started to tell me to like journal what I, like what was going on during the day. When I wake up, like whatever I remember from my dream, to write it down at the end of the night, like when I go to sleep, to just write, like how was my day, what did I do, and then try to in the morning, like try to, like connect it and see how your day is guided by any dream that I had. And I remember they were like, well, I think like you should just, focus on being here, being present, and just live the experience that you're living right now without, like filming or without doing photographs, and just like be part of the community and be part of like the people here. And then for a whole month, I remember I was just, like chilling. I was just like living there. I wasn't doing any work. I wasn't taking any photographs until afterwards. And I started like filming, and I started doing, like the work. But like for the first month, it was just like me adapting to these new habits, and in a way, like trying to connect to this rhythms, because when you're there, it's like this rhythm that it's completely different from the city, right? There is no time. Like I remember like asking people, so like what time is it? And then because like I, like it was like this need of knowing the time, and they were like, why do you need to know the time? Like do you have somewhere to be? And I was like, no. And then they will be like, then why do you need to know the time? Like, don't worry about the time. My idea was to have a book of, like the different stages of the project, because we've worked with different mediums, and it hasn't just been like digital photography, but it's been, like we have the cyanotypes. And back in 2022, I got a grant from Photographers Without Borders. And then we had this workshop with the women where we made Polaroid portraits, and then they embroidered themselves. So it was another part of the project, and now it's like putting in everything together. My vision is kind of like in a book, so that has been, like now finding that funding, so like I can finish the last, chapter of the project, and then finding funding for the book. So, and it's been, since, well, it was like 2021, so it's been 3 years, and I gave myself like 5 years to finish this whole thing. So, I have 2 more years to go. The beginning was focused on the oniric world, and like understanding the relationships between humans and non-humans, and how Sapara people are connected to the land, and just this, like the invisible world that exists beyond the material and beyond what our eyes can see. And also, like how women have like an important role in this conservation of the Amazon. And then it kind of like it weaves, right? The second chapter also weaves into this like territorial defense, and like it's more centered on, the role of women as land defenders, and like how important it is to also have women at the front lines and not just men, right? And like there is like this equality. And then the third chapter, I want to focus in on this idea of identity and belonging, and how, like I feel like in history there's this history of displacement and just like loss of culture in a way. So I want this to kind of weave together into, like their cosmology, and there it comes to territorial defense and how the well-being of the land is important also to maintain a well-being of the people that live there. And then it comes into identity, right? Like a sense of belonging. What does that mean now? And, like in today's world, like, what does it mean for them to be Sapara and to belong to this place that they belong, right? And with all the changes that had happened, like technology and, like all the we call it the colonialism, and how, throughout the years they have been like, they've lost their language, and, like how do they still maintain their own identity. I feel like right now my work since the beginning has also changed and shifted. Right now I've been more focused on, or like center on, wanting to create these images that portrayed hope and like connection, and, in a beautiful way, and not, like just to show the problem, or, like the ugly part of things, but also the other part, right? The hope that it still remains, the beautiful part of, like the connection with the land, of still being alive, of still having, like a clean river, and just this relationship of body territories that, like they share. And I think like we all share in a way, right? Like this relationship with the landscape and what surrounds us. So I feel like my work has it's shifting towards that, or my vision is like, how do I make, like an image that gives this hope to the audiences, or that, like brings this inspiration, or it's, like in a way a catalyzer for like change, a habit, or, like something that inspires others too, and it's just not an image of, like a destructed land or a destructed river, but like how, like how an image can bring that hope to the a bigger audience, because I feel like that's what we need now more than ever, like to be, like to have hope, and to just, like connect more with what we have at our, like dispose, like our fingertips, like, like just not like, not because you don't live in a place like a nature place, or like in the Amazon, like you're not responsible for the destruction of it, but, like being mindful of what are our habits, like how are we living our life, like is it, like intentionally, or is it just because we are comfortable of like this system and we continue to live it that way.